Alright, Shalawam. I'm going to start off by giving all glory, praises, and honor to YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, whether you receive that or not. Peace and salutations to the brothers across the four winds, spreading this word in truth and in sincerity of heart. So we're going to start this video off by reading Matthew 24, verse 21.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as will not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Yeah, so the Spirit has been on me lately, and well, really on both of us. I got the brother Kalab here with me. But we've really just been meditating on this verse these past few weeks, especially because we're coming into this time right now, where the Lord says, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. So you got to understand, you got to think about this and really, truly meditate on what's about to come. All right? It's going to be a time like no ever was. It ever was, nor shall be. So a few weeks ago, the brother Kalab and I were just fooling around on YouTube, and we came across this video. It says 10 amazing robots that really exist. Now, I did a little bit of research, and it's true. I think this video shows maybe, about 6, 7, 8, I don't know, maybe somewhere around like 10 robots. But I want to pay particular attention to a few of them because I did some research, and these robots, as the title suggests, they really do exist. All right? These robots have been shown at different robotic conventions. And where is it? It says, right, this video was uploaded on May 2nd, 2017. So, Lord willing, I don't forget, I'll grab the link right here and I'll put it in the description of this video. But I wanted to pay particular attention to three of the robots that were brought out here, because I'm thinking about these end times, and the Lord said it'll be like nothing that ever was. Matter of fact, before we get into this video, let's read this as well. A nice little precept. So let's get right to the point. Salakia, Micah 5 and 15.
And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard.
Yeah. So that not only goes for the heathen, but it's also the 2/3 as well. Majority of our people, 2/3 of them, they're wicked, they're evil. All right? They're not thinking about the Lord. They don't feel the Lord at all. If they did, they'd be meditating on this verse. They'd be meditating on this verse, and they'd be meditating on this verse right here. Such as was not since the beginning of this world to this time. You got to understand. All right? We're the Lord's creatures. He created us. So he knows our deepest, darkest secrets. He knows our deepest fears, and he can bring them all out. That's a power to be fearful of, man. It's nothing to play around with. But let's jump into this video right here. I want to, let me see where that was at, brother. Yeah, 210 right here. So let's look at some of the robots they have out here. And really, when you watch the video, consider and think, what are these robots really for? All right? Because they're not helping out society. They're not doing anything to further this generation, if you will, this era. All right? So let's jump into it. Let's see what they got going on, what they created out here.
Robotic seagulls and dragonflies that can fly just like their living relatives. The seagull was developed in 2012.
Right.
Later, a dragonfly that can hang in the air, no worse than its natural counterpart, was invented. All the details of the dragonfly were made on a 3D printer, and you can control this miracle with a smartphone. Through these developments, the company could edge out the development market of flying drones.
You hear that? It said with this development, the company could edge out the market of flying drones. All right? Flying drone. Look at this. You telling me this is a time that we've seen before? No. Look, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. Look at this thing. All right? This is real. This really exists. I think if I heard correctly, it said it was created back in 2012. This isn't a prototype anymore. These things exist and they're out here. All right? Now, after I was watching this video, I watched the whole thing, but we're not going to watch the whole thing, obviously. Then I was thinking about, a time that has never existed before. So, of course, I'm keeping it biblical. So, all right, I'm getting into, the fire and brimstone, wicked Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? All that homosexuality, disgusting. But the Spirit led me back to Egypt, all right, and what happened in Egypt. So let's get into that really quickly. Let's read Exodus 10. We're going to start at verse 4. And let's read down, brother, to verse 6. Yeah, that's the point I want to bring out. Go ahead.
Else, if thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the locusts into thy coast.
All right? I'm going to bring the locusts into thy coast, but it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse than this. All right? Let's go ahead.
And they shall cover the face of the earth, that one cannot be able to see the earth, and they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped, which remaineth unto you from the hail, and shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the field.
Right.
And they shall fill thy houses, and the houses of all thy servants, and the houses of all the Egyptians, which neither thy fathers nor thy fathers have seen,
That's right,
since the day that were upon the earth unto this day. And he turned himself and went out from Pharaoh.
All right. Now this is the point I want to bring out. It says, which neither thy fathers nor thy fathers' fathers have seen. Now let's go back here. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. So back in Egypt, they never seen anything like this. All these locusts filling the houses of all the servants and the houses of all the Egyptians. This was never seen. Go ahead, get that, brother. All right? But now look, something similar back then, but it's different. The world's never seen this. They're going to go crazy. Plus all the creatures that the Lord has waiting, that he has built up, saved, and stored. All the angels, all right, that are coming back to destroy this place. I mean, people are going to bug out. Come on, brother. They're going to bug out. All right? We've never seen anything like this. Right? There's actually a few more robots. Robots that I want to bring out. And what is this for, man? What is this for? What are they doing with this? I bet you they can put a small little gun on top of it and it'll be shooting everybody out here. Watch. All right, let's get to I want to bring out two more of these. Because what is the purpose of their existence? What are they really doing out here? Man. Here we go. Let's get into this thing right here. Because ain't nobody out running this.
Later, they created a robot cheetah that gallops at 45 kilometers per hour. This is a little bit faster than the peak speed of the current world record holder. Thus, a four-legged robot developed by order of the U.S. military today is able to catch up and destroy any person on this planet.
Did you hear that? And they say it's straightforward like it's nothing. You know? Listen to that bland Edomite. Let's go back again and listen to his voice again. Listen to what he says.
Today is able to catch up and destroy any person on this planet.
It said this robot right here. Never mind you, this thing. What is that? All right. Look at this thing. It hit 28 miles per hour. All right. Let me see if I can fast forward to that exact point when it hit that top speed. Look at this thing, man. 28 miles per hour. Look at that. Usain Bolt ain't outrunning that. Salakia. All right. This is what's coming to this world. Now, what is the point of this? What did it say? It said the U.S. military created it for what? To destroy. It said it can catch up and destroy anybody out here. That's the key word, destroy. Man, look at this. Let me read this one more time. I mean, for then, Matthew 24:21. Go ahead, brother. You got it.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time,
right.
No, nor ever shall be.
This is only a small portion, very, very small portion of the great tribulation that's coming. All right? Now watch when it's out here. And obviously, I speak as a man. I definitely do not know what the Lord has planned. All I do know is that I want to be protected. And that's why, what does it say? Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, I believe it's verse 6, it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation. All right, look at this. Stability of thy time. knowing that certain things are coming out here, prophesying, saying before it happens, all right? Praying, fasting on a weekly basis, praying without cease, reading these scriptures without cease, meeting up with brothers, on a weekly basis, not just on Saturdays or whenever you guys go out to camp, you know what I mean, whatever day that is. We have to be constantly meeting up with brothers all the time, building up our spirits, praying that the Lord gives us faith, praying that the Lord builds up your spirit so that you can bear whatever your predestined lot is in these end times, in the time of Jacob's trouble. All right? The whole purpose is we're doing this. Why? Because we want to get brought through the fire when the Lord comes. We want to endure unto the end so that we can have power over all nations. All right? You got to keep these things in mind. But right now, we have to build up our spirits to go through disgusting, evil creations like this. This is coming. All right? And like I said before, not to mention all the other creatures that the Lord has created. He has angels created just for devastation. Come on, if that's not a power to be fearful of, man, we got another thing coming. All right? And before we get into this last verse, because I want to jump into 2 Kings chapter 6, because I was talking about faith. And that's a great whole chapter to read. But before we get there, I want to jump to two more robots that I think are just, Salaki, just one more. That was the second one. Let's jump into this third one. Let's go to, I think it's around 640, brother. Yeah, look at this disgusting thing. Go ahead, play that.
The robot spider. From the beginning, it is worth mentioning that the spider model was printed using a 3D printer. The engine is integrated with the servo motors of the paw.
Just look at this. Look at this Edomite. All right? Look at him. Look at his hand. Look at his hand compared to this big old thing. Come on. You telling me females aren't going to go buck wild? I know some men. I know grown-ass men that would fear this. All right? You got these mighty men that are going to be running around like little girls. Little girls, man. Let me finish this. Just a few more seconds on this.
3 in each. The resulting system provides simple control of flexible plastic movements with convenient coordination from the control panel. He was shown in one of the series of Mythbusters.
Look at this. Let's go back to see how this thing was moving. I mean, I'm sure it's already creeping some people out. Look at this thing. Right? This thing's out here.
Coordination from the control panel.
Look at that.
He was shown in one of the series of Mythbusters.
Come on. Now you're telling me that is a time that was seen before? Nah. Let's jump back to Exodus again. It says, Exodus 10 and 6. Go ahead, brother. Read it right here. Which
neither thy fathers nor thy fathers' fathers have seen.
Have seen. All right? So back in Egypt, what are we talking about? We're talking about the locusts. All right? They never seen these locusts. And where did these locusts go? They shall fill thy houses, and the houses of all thy servants. All right? Let me jump back to right here. 2:16. Look at that. All right? This is going to be everywhere. It's not just going to fill the houses. It's going to fill the whole earth. Again, speaking through the Spirit. I'm sure that something like this is going to be released out here. And then let's jump back. What else is going to be released? This little disgusting thing right here. All right, look at that. Get a good look at that. All right, because that's what's going to be out here. And then the cheetah, right? The brother just said the cheetah. That's going to be chasing you down. All right, this is something that we need to be fearful of. All right, we don't want to be in front of this. We want to be protected. So let's jump into 2 Kings. We're going to read, just to give you guys, you brothers, a little background of what's happening right here. So we have Elisha. And basically, long story short, I don't want to give the whole chapter away. It's beautiful. In the beginning of the chapter, if I remember correctly, there's a miracle that happens by Elisha through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi. There's a miracle that happens, but basically, just to give you guys a brief summary, because we're going to pick up at verse 14. The king of Syria is looking for Elisha. All right, I'm just gonna start it off right there. That's all we need to know, because the point is we're getting down to faith, because this is the kind of faith that we need to have in these end times. All right, Kalab. So let's read 2 Kings 6, starting at verse 14.
Therefore sent he thither horses
Right.
horses and chariots and a great host.
He is talking about the king of Syria. All right, so horses, chariots, a great host. Host meaning military, army. So the king of Syria sent forth a whole army for this one man, for Elisha. All right, go ahead.
And they came by night and compassed the city about.
Right.
And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early,
Elisha,
and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city both with horses and chariots.
all right, so that's that host. The king of Syria sent that host, and it came to the city where Elisha was residing. Right.
And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
All right, so the servant of Elisha was like, look, what do we do? I see this huge army out there. It's just us two. What are we going to do against them? They got weapons. You know, they're numbered. They way outnumber us. All right, so let's go ahead. Verse 16.
And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
All right. So he told his servant, Elisha said, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. So what was he talking about? Let's read verse 17 and find out.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord,
YAHAWAH.
I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see.
Right.
And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Come on, baby. You got to visualize this. The elder apostle Gabar always says you have to visualize what you're reading. All right? So let's read right here again where it says, and the Lord opened the eyes. Go ahead, read that again.
And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
All right.
Elisha.
So you have this young man. He's worried. All right? And you got to picture ourselves in these end times. Yeah. Our spirits are going to be built up. That's why we're doing this right now. That's why we're praying. That's why we're going out on the highways and byways. All right? That's why we meet up with brothers and everything like that. But our flesh is going to be something that we sort of, in a way, can't control. All right? We're still going to be a little bit, what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm just going to use the word jittery, for lack of a better word. Maybe nervous. Some men won't. I don't know. But at the end of the day, our spirits are all that matters. But this young man is like, come on. What do we do, Elisha? Look at these people. And then Elisha prayed to the Lord, open up his eyes that he may see. All right? And it says, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire. No, these aren't the same horses and chariots from King Syria. We're talking about the angels. All right? The horses and these chariots are the so-called UFOs that the white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of, the Edomites. All right? So-called white man. Let me put that in there. All right? These are talking about the chariots, the IFOs, identified flying objects. All right? That we know through the spirit that they are the chariots of the Heavenly Father through his son Yahawashi. All right? But these chariots were around him. But that's the kind of faith we got to have, brother. And that's the point that I want to bring out today. You know, in these end times, it's going to be a time like no other. But we got to have faith that in these end times, that we have horses and chariots of fire. All right? Of fire round about us. Because that's the kind of protection that's going to be over us. We don't have anything to worry about. All right? And we shouldn't be worried about anything. So with that being said, I truly hope that this video was edifying. I'm going to give all glory, praises, and honor to YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi. Once again, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the brothers across the four winds spreading this word in truth and in sincerity of heart. Keep praying, keep fasting, keep reading, pray for faith. All right, keep building up y'all spirits. Shalawam.